Folks, we have some breaking news that we need to talk about. This is such a big news that it is moving some parts of the markets. Maybe not too much when it comes to AMC price, but it's just a matter of time. Why? Because yesterday I shared with you that the Feds will soon change the way the dark pools manipulate the share price of a bunch of stocks, including AMC. But today we have some breaking emergency news that just came out from the DOJ itself. They are continuing and pursuing this huge investigation probe into how short sellers alongside research companies are using tactics in order to spook people from some of these, stocks that are highly shorted, profiting illegally per se, into how they make money. So this morning, some search warrant was served into these guys. Carson Block, the furious short seller behind Muddy Waters. He was served with the search warrant by an FBI agent in October. People familiar with the matter said, we already know that back in the early 2021, Andrew left another researcher company from Citron Research was also served, a search warrant. But it goes a little bit further today because the federal prosecutors are investigating whether the short sellers conspired to drive down stock prices by sharing damaging research reports ahead of time and engaging in illegal trading tactics. People familiar with the matter said. Pretty much these guys know exactly the shenanigans, all right, of the manipulation that these short sellers are using in bunch of stocks, not only AMC. I mean, this is such a big deal that even Adam Aaron spoke about it. Well. When you look at this, the DOJ is pursuing wide-ranging investigation of short sellers. Federal prosecutors are investigating whether blah, 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 blah. So this is a big news. Why is this such a big news? Well, because this is precisely what has been happening here in AMC Stock. They will do what they call spoofing, all right, an illegal ploy that involves flooding the market with fake orders. The naked shorts, the synthetics, all are in the mix of these spoofing tactics in an effort to push the share price down and further down. And another one is scalping, when you make a bunch of profit and you cover it, or, as a short seller, you cash out your position, but you don't disclose it. Going back to the whole transparency thing. So it is obvious that the SEC is definitely working hand in hand with the DOJ here. But where it gets even more interesting, it's that these tactics used to be the bread and butter, of these short sellers companies working in collusion with research firms. And the research firm will, allegedly send a tweet or a report saying, hey, this is the reason why we are shorting XYZ stock for XYZ company for XYZ reasons. But sometimes these are not even accurate. But because stock market is such an emotional place to be that investors will, even without willing to know exactly the truth of the matter, they will start getting out of the position, furthering, the share price going even further down. And on top of this, you have spoofing. Spoofing is literally what we call a short attack. They will drive the share price down by sharing blocks, passing it to each other. Let's just say the price is at 10, and it's sold at 10 and 1 cent. The next block trade will sell at, 10.00 flat. And then the other one will try to sell at 9.88. And then, that's how they, ping pong back and forth between each other, pushing the share price down. But because the block trade is such a big amount of shares, everything going through the pool, because they're also parking the buying pressure, it's really difficult to see the share price rebound. Why? Because everything is going through, the lead exchange, but only when the share price goes down. So yeah, the DOJ and the SEC is definitely closer to holding and closing this whole thing because it's been, part of what the White House alongside the DOJ, alongside the DOT, the Department of Treasury, and the SEC. And remember, there was a risk market panel that is reporting directly to the president at White House, and they were looking into how can these hedge funds be, how the risk, these hedge funds represent into the whole stability of the markets is kind of looking like. Is this a good thing? But it looks like it is not. And definitely it comes from the top. All right. So based on this, what we can expect next? Well, bunch of these short sellers covering, especially those that are here, and are not the biggest one. I mean, just another example of this company, SOS Limited. This is a highly shorted stock Bitcoin miner from China. And just on the news today, it gained 30%. It gained 32% just on the news of this whole thing, because this is also another perfect example of the manipulation of the spoofing and the scalping and the naked shorting and the short attack. So again, just to tell you that, well, the next thing here, we might expect bunch of the little shorts to start getting scared, because it seems like the end is pretty close. And because of that, they will start, the covering process. And when that initiates, the price to hit a certain level where it will be too much bearable for these folks, for the other folks, like the big one, Citadel and the Simplex Trading to hold, then it's boom time. It's boom time, and when boom time comes, it will be inevitable because everybody will be chasing this thing, given these market conditions in 2022. So just to say that this is a big deal, folks. We can expect major moves coming in the next couple of weeks, maybe in the next couple of months. Definitely that would trigger what we're finally here for. So let's just be patient a little bit, but definitely it looks bullish.